I think, our standard is obviously a little bit different. So midpoint of the season is a great opportunity for us as a coaching staff to evaluate what's working, what's not, being able to pivot or continue to build on the positive part. So I think we're at an interesting part here for us, because I think when we've been good, we've been really, really good. And I think at times we've shown the ability to be substandard. So, I think we're really inconsistent right now. I think so for us, I think those are correctable things. And, that could start with the coaching. I think, for us, it's important to hold them a little bit more accountable through some maybe drill work or different things that we're doing in practice to try to develop us being a little bit more consistent. So I put that on the coaches. I've talked to my staff about it. It starts with me. In order for us to be an elite team, we have to be more consistent. I think you can see that a trend across without every team. I think this year of all years that I've been doing this, and if you don't show up, you can lose. You're going to be in a game that you wouldn't expect being in a game. So, I hold myself accountable for that, and that's something that we'll work really hard making sure that we're playing at a higher, more consistent level. It's hard. We have a lot of returning players, so for the freshmen to be able to crack the lineup at all, that's a tribute to how well they're playing. And really, for us, there's really a large emphasis on how we practice. So they've learned how to practice properly and how to practice with the game-like intensity, which is always something that's interesting for freshmen to have to adapt to, because high school, you can fake it through some practices and stuff, and games are a little bit more intense, where a practice here is more intense than their most intense high school day. So, they learn how to practice at a high level, and they've been able to crack the lineup and provide us with some really good minutes. So that's really encouraging for them. We have a couple that are on the verge of doing the same there. So I think that's something that we're proud of and being able to develop. It's something that's been something that we take a lot of pride in with our program is our player development, and our coaches do a great job with that, and something that allows us to really play at a high level consistently through the years. How awesome is Charlotte? She is the consummate teammate, an incredible human, one of my favorite players and people. But I think it's easy for everyone out there to see what the great contribution she makes on the draw circle, taking draws. Her goal scoring is really, that's where I've seen the biggest jump with her offensively. She's an elite offensive player, and obviously she's a huge part of our defense. But I think all those things start with her work ethic and the kind of teammate that she is behind the scenes. And it couldn't happen to a better kid. And it's been awesome for us to kind of see her growth every year. We set clear goals for her as a freshman, and being able to be more than just a draw taker and to be the complete player. And she's knocked it out of the ballpark. Yeah, it's a system, right? Our defense is a system. So it's something that's, we develop talent to be able to plug and play into those spots. And those guys have done a really great job in being able to come in there. We have more depth in that position, especially our low post, than we've ever had. So there's a really large emphasis on practice, and you can see our lineup has changed so many times because of that. There's not clear-cut number ones and number twos that, those are their spots from day one right till the end. So this is something where they have to earn every day in practice, and that'll make us a better defense, going down the road here. And, our defense has always been the staple of our program, and having that quality depth there and the internal competition is only going to make us better. Yeah, it's interesting the way our schedule worked out. Offensively, I think we're a little inconsistent there. We've had some things that have gotten in the way a little bit for us, and we've played a bunch of man-to-man teams in a row, and then we played a bunch of zone teams in a row, and then we went back to them. So, I think now it's because of our depth. It's finding the right combinations against the zone, the right combinations against man. How many players are really super effective in both. So it gives us a lot of different options, maybe sometimes too many options, because there is not an ability to kind of build that chemistry. So, I think we're evolving offensively, but we have so much talent there and so much experience on top of that, with Alex Finn, and Claire Levy's offensive game has really exploded. I talked about Charlotte's offensive game, Erin. And then there's some players that we got to get a little bit more out of. So that starts with scheme, right? I don't want to put it all on the players. So I think schematically we have to be able to create some shots for some of our players that maybe are off-ball players, or maybe a little bit more dynamic dodgers, and creating some space for them and Courtney McClay, I think, has been really good. It's somebody who's flown under the radar and scored a couple big goals for us throughout the season. So, it starts with offensively, we want to put our players in the best position to succeed, and it starts with some X's and O's. So that's something that I'll make sure that that we're improving and evolving, and that's what you want. You don't want to be playing your best lacrosse in March. We have to be playing our best lacrosse at the end of April, May, and go on a run in this thing, because we certainly have enough talent to do it.